Hi everyone, happy to meet you again. Today I am going to teach you the prose piece Ranga'S Marriage, written by Iyengar, Masti Venkatesh Iyengar. What are you going to learn from this story, from this prose piece? You are going to look at various aspects of culture. You will also come to know about historical references made by the author. You will also know the values behind following certain habits, certain customs. Let us now look at the learning outcomes for this prose piece. You will be able to know the age-old customs followed by Indians in the pre-independent era. You will also come to know about Ranga'S respectful behaviors. Author has made several references about it. The entire story revolves around Ranga. And you will also come to know about author's point of view about astrology. His point of view, interpretation about astrology. So in a beautiful way, the author has given his remark about astrology. You will also come to know about the historical references made by the author. So on the whole, it is going to be a great learning experience for all of you. Right, enough. Now you are going to look at the major characters. Ramarao, a locality from the village, Vajali, and Shyama, the narrator, Ratna, the bride, Ranganatha, the bridegroom. The narrator takes the maximum opportunity to talk about Ranganatha. The entire story revolves around Ranganatha's marriage and his opinion about the marriage customs. When we learn something about his opinion, we would most probably be able to understand the cultural aspects of Indian marriage system, especially a system which is followed in villages, age-old customs, age-old traditions. What are you going to learn from them? Let us now understand it from one by one. According to the narrator's point of view, Ranganatha is belonging to the village, Hazali. The narrator talks about various things related to the village. Mango, soaring mango, culture, people who give respect, people who admire others, people who look at others, those who speak English. So English speaking is considered something great and something which is not followed by many in the village. And this has also brought a huge surprise for the readers. When Ranganatha completed his studies, he returns back to his village and he was appreciated by everybody, and people also question about his changes that take place with him. We all know whenever and wherever we undergo a change, that will definitely bring appropriate adaptations. One has to think about it. We knowingly or unknowingly adopt certain qualities with us. So the village people look at him for such changes. He belonged to a very old traditional customs community. So people ensured that He is not affected by Western culture. Speaking in English also considered a kind of a culture. So the narrator talks about those changes and he is very happy about his unchanging attitude and behavior. He is capable of understanding those aspects. Ranganatha respects everybody. Ranganatha appreciates and gives due respect to the elders. But his view about marriage is something typical for the narrator because he is looking for the right bride. He is looking for a mature girl. He is also looking for a girl who admires, a girl who inspires him. So this kind of expectations surprised the narrator. According to his need, according to his expectation, he had to find something or someone because it is his duty to do that. In search of such people, he had to find a good girl. He thinks about Rama niece Ratna. She is 11 years old. The story gives a surprise about the child marriage system. And the narrator plays a trick. He played a trick on this particular thing. He shares a news about Ratna's marriage. 1 year ago, she was married. So this information was passed to Ranganatha. He felt so typical and indifferent. His expectation was something very unique. So to bring his attention towards Ratna, he invited him to Ramarao's house, where Ratna was singing a song. She is already good at playing veena and harmonium. Her musical talent and melodious voice would really admire Ranganatha. This was the calculation. But both of them showed a great surprise. Both of them expressed in a different manner. Their expression was not apt to the situation. So, calculating all the aspects and outcome, he had to talk with Sastri. He is proficient in astrology. He asked him to follow the certain things to convince Ranganatha. This kind of custom is followed everywhere across the country because people in India always make predictions. People in India in certain section. That prediction will add some kind of a confidence, or people will live their life with the help of hope. And it is closely related to their beliefs also. So when he played a trick with Sastri, he is able to convince Ranganatha that the right pair, that the right girl that Ranganatha was looking is Ratna. And finally they got married. He was invited, the narrator was invited for the dinner. He was surprised to know that Ranganatha's son is named as Shyama. And after hearing that, he felt happy and gifted a gold ring. And this kind of information is shared all through the text. Okay, what is the learning outcome of this particular text? Many references are made by the narrator. Not only one or two. Mangoes, sweet soaring mangoes, and sweet, Kadigadabu, sweet. It's very famous in Karnataka. And English language, the priceless English language. When someone utters a word in English, that is received with typical manner. It was a yearly custom followed in many of the villages. But now things are totally different with the help of education. But earlier, it was looked with a different manner. Ranga was a generous and considerable one, and the present day brides, he has got a different opinion about the present day brides. He once upon a time, he wanted to become, or he wanted to be a bachelor. If he doesn't find a right bride, he wanted to be a bachelor. So it was Shyama's mission to change his mindset about the bride, about the marriage system. He thinks that a man should marry a girl he admires. So the text also carries full of emotions: surprise, happiness, excitement, distress, state of mindset, and a happy ending. The narrator never forgets to talk about his own point of view in a very critical aspect, in a critical manner. When he criticizes the aspects, the entertainment aspects of the people who belong to the village entertain themselves by admiring or looking at the others if they appear in a different aspect. And the stories also poses a great argument. Hearsays, astrology predictions and hearsays. Astrology predictions. How far it is scientific? 1. According to Shastrial's opinion, astrology is another form of a science, ancient science. He says it's an ancient science. So this is also questioned, or this is also criticized by Shyama. Ranganatha has never shown any other disrespectful gesture. He never forgets to respect, he never forgets to appreciate, he never forgets to abide. He follows the words because he was an obedient man. He didn't change anything. He didn't show any ill effects for any kind of thing. He was showing only positive attitude and gesture. Sometimes he is quite practical and expresses every feeling in a natural manner. Whether it can be disappointment or distressed state of mindset, or excitement or happiness, or else curiosity to know who might be his girl. Sastri has got a different opinion about the life. He has made the right calculation according to the tutoring by the Shyama. With the help of Chorus and Book of Purnia, he was able to make some predictions. It is quite apt according to the astrology. And above all, Ratna, the expressions, the gesture, the social communication that Ratna makes with others is also portrayed in a natural manner. As an 11-year-old girl shows a natural character, and this indicates a child marriage system, and that should not be practiced. But the story portrays, because it was related to pre-independent Indian era. And how does she feel? She is not able to express anything directly, but she hides herself as a reflection of shyness. And Ranganatha is also able to observe and notify the changes, and he could read the mind of Ratna. So that gave him a kind of hint that she is also interested. And above all, the good attitude, the good gesture, a proper talk, a bold aspect, a bold behavior of the narrator proves that he is able to refer many. Personally, village, and then Black Hole Calcutta, the Black Hole incident that took place in Calcutta. English language, the reign of English language in India during pre-independent era, and the education system and its impact in the Indian society. Astrology, the part of Indian life. Many people follow it as a part of the Indian tradition, and some people also lead their life with the help of astrology too. But in these days, with the help of technology, people look at this kind of aspect and they will be able to present many arguments for such belief. And this poses so many questions. But the underlining, the message of this text is it celebrates or it gives due respect to the culture, customs, and people try to adopt themselves slowly and steadily. They didn't accept any changes all of a sudden, but they stick to that customs without harming any human beings' feelings or emotions. So this shows something great. Natural way of living, appreciating and living the moment, taking the best form of a nature and living with that, like mango and other customs they follow. And the music, playing music, all those aspects. So when we are able to notify all these basics, we can learn something new from it, and we can also cherish our own culture without harming or without affecting our own life. Thank you.
Kapilama.